The final stage of the 2018 Waimate 50 Motorsport Festival is the ITM Street Attack, where cars from all over the country battle for the fastest time around the concrete line street course. There's 5 time attack sessions across the weekend, split across multiple categories. The top 10 fastest qualifiers then hit the track for the final Mckeown Petroleum Top 10 Shootout. And here is your driver lineup for this year's Top 10 Shootout. Josh Mitchell and Daniel Leenberg, some of the stars from last year's battle for the podium. Andy Duffin joining the lineup for the first time in his Mazda RX-7. After an afternoon of qualifying, the times are reset. Just one more opportunity to prove yourself and the car in the shootout. It is go hard or go home. One last shot to take the trophy here for the 2018 Waimate 50 ITM Street Attack. The top 10 cars head out for the final run of the weekend. In fact, this year saw 11 cars head out for the shootout. James Leenberg stepping into the IMAX Concrete Nissan 370Z. James Leenberg coming home to set the opening benchmark, the time to beat, a 2-minute 0.3. Not as quick as what we've seen earlier in the day. The conditions are fairly good, especially after last year where it was the rear-wheel drive Corvette of Conrad Scott grabbing the victory after the rain gave us a damp track for that final part of the session. What can the Mitsubishi Evo of James Mitchell bring together for the Japanese Street Kings 4-wheel drive class? A 202.3, not good enough for the top end, but a top job getting inside the top 10 main event for the weekend. First of the Hondas, Andrew Kitching in his Draftline Civic. He's been in the top 10 before. He set a 202 earlier in the day. Can he bump James Mitchell for position? Andrew Kitching competing in the Club Challenge 2LU class. What has he pulled together? A 204.8. Not the best lap from the Draftline machine. Andrew might be a little bit disappointed with that result. Next out on track, it's Rotor Power. Bert Murray in his Mazda RX-7 competing in the Pre-85 Classic JDM class. He's been setting a 202 in the last few street attack sessions. What has he got in store for the top 10? Around the final turn towards the finish line, what has the Rotary got in store for us? The Mckeown Petroleum Top 10 Shootout, a 201.4. A great lap for Bert Murray, a personal best for the weekend. So James Leenberg still the man to beat right now as the Van Damon Euro Cup entry of Wayne Colville heads out for the top 10. He's been battling mechanical dramas all weekend though and only managed to set a couple of timed laps. A 201, good enough for the shootout. But unfortunately, it looks like mechanical dramas strike again. He's off the power and that is a DNF for Wayne Colville. A real hard luck story for the weekend. Up next is the Clubman Challenge entry of Andrew Bartlett in the Economy Glass Honda Civic, another driver capable of 201s. What can he mix up against Bert Murray and James Mitchell? Coming around the final turn, eyes on the ITM race timer as we head to the line. A 2-minute 1.3 for Andrew Bartlett. We're still a second off the pace to the benchmark of James Leenberg in the Nissan 350Z as Tim Dorsett heads out for a thrash in his Carter's Honda Civic. Dorset loving a bit of limiter. The car's looking really active. It's being pushed to the ragged edge. Not a bad run for another car out of the Club Challenge 2LU class. What has he got in store as he heads to the line? A 2-minute .4, a personal best for the weekend, bumping 5 other drivers down the order and knocking on the door of James Lindberg. What a sweet run from Tim Dorset. Well, now we're getting into the business end. This car has been singing a tune out over Waimate, the beautiful sound of the Link ECU Mazda FD RX-7. Green Brothers 20B Rotary, Andy Duffin at the wheel. This car is built for time attack. It is a rear-wheel drive though. What sort of time can Andy muster up before we see those Mitsubishis take to the track? Andy, the winner of the Ellerslie Farms Invitational race earlier in the day. What's he got for the Mckeown Petroleum Top 10 Shootout? Andy Duffin, a 1-minute 56 flat, a new benchmark for the Top 10. Well, things are starting to heat up now. On track is the local hometown hero, Ben Terry. He took out the win for the Friday night hill climb to start the event. Can he bring home another podium finish in the ITM Street Attack? The Mitsubishi Evo out of the Japanese Street Kings 4-wheel drive class. He's capable of a 155. Can he do it again in the shootout? Final time, a 1-minute 55.8 for Ben Terry, our new provisional leader as we boil down to the final podium. What a lap. Well, we saw James Lindberg out first to set that benchmark at the start of the session. Now it's time for Daniel Lindberg. This car has had its debut here last year with a podium finish. What has Daniel Lindberg got in the bag for the iMix Concrete Nissan 370Z? Sideways downtown a little bit more as he heads towards the finish line. A 1-minute 54.9 for Daniel. Is that enough to take the win here this weekend for the Mckeown Petroleum Top 10 Shootout? One last car to go, the ITM Street Attack. The boys have brought the heat towards the final part of the session. They've been trading blows in seconds. What has Josh Mitchell got in store for us in his Crow Sport Subaru WRX? I'll tell you what, this looks like a really good lap here from Josh Mitchell. Has he done enough to top Daniel Lindberg in his Nissan? It's Nissan versus Subaru here for the final lap of the weekend. The Waimate 50 Motorsport Festival. Josh Mitchell, a 1-minute 54.3. Josh Mitchell takes the win, setting a new lap record for the 2018 Mckeown Petroleum Top 10 Shootout here on the streets of Waimate. So the final results are in, and there is your ITM Street Attack Top 10 thanks to Mckeown Petroleum. Josh Mitchell taking the victory, a new lap record from Daniel Lindberg and local man Ben Terry. Andy Duffin finishing in 4th for the weekend from James Lindberg, rounding out that top 5. What will we see next year? It is the 60th anniversary. Maybe some more cars will come out of the shed to have a crack at that top spot. All right, Ben Terry, 3rd place here, the Mckeown Petroleum Top 10 Shootout. How was it out there?
No, it was awesome. Grouse event. Been a good weekend. Not quite the result I wanted, but pretty chuffed with it. First time out. There's always next year to take down the ginger.
All right, and how good is it to be mixing it out there with also a big variety of cars in the Street Attack, and so good to be putting on a show in a small town like this?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good being a local and taking the fight to some of the big guys. I realised the competition I was up against, like, they're not idiots. They're well-esteemed drivers. So yeah, pretty chuffed with it really.
All right, mate, debut of the car last time. She's all back looking pretty, and man, what an attack this year.
Yeah, no, the cars was dialed in pretty well this year, so kept it off the wall, which was a good thing.
How was the track out there? Awesome weather this time round?
Awesome weather. Track couldn't have been better really. Nice and warm, you know, the ground's sticky as I'm standing on it, so yeah, you know, first place would have been better, but yeah, it's good. We'll be back next year.
All right, Josh, it was all about the weather gods last time round. We had beautiful weather this time round. It's hot and sticky out on the track today.
Yeah, it was awesome this year actually. I was a bit worried this morning that it was going to be too hot. It gets pretty hot in the car, hard to concentrate, but yeah, we got a bit of cloud and it was actually perfect.
How was it out there? Went down to the wire, wasn't it?
Yeah, lots of pressure. It's been so close all weekend, you know, there was like half a second between us top three, so lots of pressure. So I think the key was just to stay cool, think about doing my lap. You know, I had the perfect lap in my head and I just concentrated on that, and the track was good and the car was good, and yeah, it was awesome.
All right, bring on next year. Big party tonight.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. A few beersies tonight. Old bloody BT bet me a couple, so he'll owe me a few, and we'll be back next year to bloody keep a hang on this thing.
Well, thank you to everyone tuning into our videos over the last few weeks. The 2018 Mckeown Petroleum Waimate 50 Motorsport Festival. Mark it on your calendar. Labour Weekend 2019, an epic weekend of motorsport. And again, a big congratulations to all the competitors, teams, volunteers and sponsors that make this event happen. Make sure you check out the Waimate 50 Facebook page to see more video action, and we'll see you trackside 2019 for the 60th anniversary.